Hello everyone. Today we are discussing a very great and important topic, that is how to choose a research guide or a mentor for your B Pharmacy practice school and project work. Same can be elaborated at M.PHARM as well as Ph.D. in Pharmacy. I am Dr. Vijay Wagh, and today we will have a great discussion on guide selection. So there are some basic questions in students' mind always, that why research is important for me, why I have to choose guide or a mentor, what are the benefits, whether guide mentor can contribute in my further education, whether it is useful for my job, whether guide mentor will add any value or skill in me, what I will learn out of it, how I should choose guide mentor, whether same guide mentor we can choose for our PG, PhD programs, and does guide mentor have any charges or fees. So we will have a discussion and we will discuss all things in detail. So a teacher is never a giver of truth. He is a guide, a pointer to the truth that each student must find for himself. Research guide. Who knows the path? Now in this picture, the teacher knows the each and everything about the future journey, and student following her that how to go ahead. So research guide, also known as a research guide, course guide or a pathfinder, provide targeted information on a particular topic to support student or faculty research in that area. Similar instructional tools have been found since before the birth of the web also, but are now almost exclusively provided by libraries online as a part of the library or web presence. Research guide allows students to get instructional assistance 24/7. His expertise will help you to develop skills and knowledge in short span, which will benefit in your career and even in jobs. So very carefully you have to choose a guide who is a research oriented mentor or a guide. Now why research is important to us? Here we can see that is D.PHARM, B.PHARM, M.PHARM, post-baccalaureate PharmD, or if you are doing PhD, research associate, SRF, JRF, or even after PhD, that is a postdoctorate fellowship, various research grants are available. For D.PHARM students, hospital, medicine or marketing, retailer, distributorship, business, other service sectors are also available. For B.PHARM students, production, marketing, PG education, marketing, retail distributorship, business and others. For M.PHARM students, production, marketing, PhD education, jobs either in academics, contract research organization or industry, hospital, clinical pharmacy or community, either a business or an entrepreneurial journey, abroad education or abroad jobs. Then after PhD, that is a job in academics, we can do PhD also, that is full time 3 to 4 years, part time 6 to 7 years. After PhD or during PhD you can join research associate, senior research fellow, junior research fellow, or when there is no sponsorship you have to sponsor your own, that is called as self-sponsorship PhD. Postdoctorate fellowship after PhD, again you can go ahead for job in academics, industry, CRO, business or entrepreneurial journey, government research institutions, or jobs in university or projects available at university level. So research is very important to us. So that's why we should choose very properly. Now education must begin with the solution of the teacher-student contradiction by reconciling the poles of the contradiction so that both are simultaneously students and teachers. Now in India, there are 4 levels of colleges depending upon their year of establishment. So the level 1, who is a new pharmacy colleges up to 7 years, then 7 to 14 years, who is having M.PHARM, B.PHARM, then level 3, who is having 14 to 20 years of experience, who is having B.PHARM, M.PHARM as well as 1 to 7 branches, and again publication is more and NIRF ranked also. and level 4, that is 20 to 30 years and onwards, who is having M.PHARM, Ph.D. center, research grants available, patent facility available, and NIRF ranking also. Now at every institution we are having that, suppose a B.PHARM college is there, the professor and principal is the most experienced person who may have a research experience in his credit also, then the associate professors and 10 to 12 assistant professor. So here we have to again start for the practice school and project work. Level 2, here 1 professor, 2 to 3 associate professors and 10 to 12 assistant professor. So these are primary levels of college. Those colleges who are having M.PHARM will have a great repo of their publications. So principal as well as 3 professors, 6 to 7 associate professors and 10 to 12 assistant professors. And at level 4, that 1 principal, 7 professor, 10 to 14 associate professor and 10 to 12 assistant professor. Here the student capacity, it will be more, that's why the criteria of staff is also more. So those all staff are available as a mentor or guide. Now what is the role of a research guide? Research guide or mentor is intended to help students and should be available for them. Organize and write a quality research paper for classes taught in the subjects of pharmaceutical sciences. Also included recommendations concerning how to successfully manage and complete specific course assignment. Note that if you have any questions about a writing assignment, you should always seek advice from your professor before you begin or start any research activity. Requirements set forth by your professor will always supersede instructions provided in the general guideline. Now, while selection of guide, you have to take certain parameters. So what are those parameters? So first, that is what skills and research areas your guide mentor have, whether your guide done M.PHARM, Ph.D. from which level of college, that is 2, 3 or 4. It clears research cultures he experienced in PG or Ph.D. depending upon the levels. For B.PHARM practice school project, guide mentor level 2 and 3 are good, level 4 are best. Does your guide mentor have published any research publications? Does your guide think, talk or give good content beyond syllabus or case studies for your practicals in college? Does your guide have web presence like slides, presentation, publication or any other activity of his or her choice? What are the citations of your guide mentor? And that is Google Scholar, you can check. It is claimed as a H-index. So what is H-index? The H-index captures the academic footprint of your professor, how many publication he has done and how many times the publication is cited by other persons in their cross references. Let us say example, if a researcher has a 15 paper, each of which has a 15 citation, so his H-index is 15. It is useful in comparing researchers of similar career length, comparing researchers in similar field, subject or department and who publish in the same journal categories, and obtaining a focused snapshot of a researcher's performance. It is not useful for comparing researchers from different fields, disciplines or subjects or who is having an interest in multidisciplinary research also. So this is very important criteria. Depending upon this H-index only, your guide will have a projects in hand who is having the grants. Now some precautions you must take while choosing your guide. That very first, ego. Sensitive guides whose feeling get hurted quickly and have problems if you say no. You have to listen and do what they are saying. To avoid further clashes, inquire about your guide's history. Second, it is learning mode. Whether guide open to learn and accept new things or is insisting on old methods only. Please check your way also to do so. Accessible and available for meeting. If your guide is too busy and procrastinator, then it will be unnecessarily trouble to you to get guidance with stipulated time framework to complete the said research project. Open-mindedness. should be able to listen to student if you are coming with any best alternative or solution to research problem. Otherwise you will miss the freedom of research. Guide's personality trait: feeling of insecurity, jealousness, credit snatchers, mentally sick or disturbed, greedy, harassment history, etc. You should to inquire before guide selection. Otherwise it will be unnecessarily problem for your further research work later on. Now efforts of guides and students should be in one direction. Now in this picture everybody is moving in opinions another and there is no gain. But if they are thinking in one direction, they can accomplish the project 1 to like onwards. Now choice available with students and research mentor. I think in many colleges compulsorily students and guide selection it will be done, but there are many good institutions who keep choice with the students. So the research mentor student ratio, either it will be 1-to-1 or either it will be the group of students and one guide it will be available. Whether mentor may only have one student may have more research mentors in their career. You can choose many guides also for a single project. Whether the mentoring was entered into voluntarily or compulsorily or mandatorily. Presence or absence of compensation offered to the staff of students taking part in mentor and graduate research. For example, mentor's grade or academic performance indicator benefit. Whether or not students were given any course benefit. So both guide as well as students get benefited or motivated. The frequency of meeting and duration of the mentoring relationship. Availability of mentor support in the form of training and resources. Now fees of guidance. There is nothing free in this world. We have to give some Guru Dakshina. Remember, your guidance is investing many hours of extra time for your guidance as well as reading, which will benefit him directly, indirectly in his research career, as well as students also will get benefited. In colleges there is no fees charged for guidance of research projects directly, but if you are involved in outsourcing of part of research from any other private lab or consultancy, it may charge you in thousands for minor research work, maybe 6 months to 1 year, or lakhs for major research work like Ph.D. or postdoctorate fellowship. To purchase any special polymer drug if it is not available as a gift sample or free sample and college is not feasible to provide it to you, then you have to take decision about the same. Many private universities during last 10 years given research guide up to 25,000 to 50,000 for guidance for 3 years, which was collected from the students' PhD fees. But in other universities there is no such fees for guidance. At last, everybody should think that nothing should charge them if the grants are available or funds are available, and nothing should be go from pocket of both. But if research is self-finance, where you don't have any grant, you want its direct benefit as a product or a process patent, and later on its financial rights also you want to gain, then you should prefer to do it by yourself or self-finance in any laboratories like your pharmaceutical industries. In abroad or foreign countries, if professional way to pay, if you are investing your working hours of life in any way, but in India we have a habit to consult freely to anybody without at least acknowledging it in any way in research process, called as a credit snatchers or some selfish approach which leads to ego development rather than main societal benefit, which is the aim of a research. So without your involvement you can't succeed, and with involvement you can't fail, like rightly said by APJ Abdul Kalam. So today we have learned about the guide selection. Please share this video as many as possible so that all students will get benefit and details about how to select a guide.